everyone. Good afternoon. Well, it's good. It's afternoon for me anyway. It's past 12 o'clock. It's probably more like half 12. So, I've only just really come out for my run. Well, actually, I was actually going to go to the book for a run. And as I started making my way there, I realised the weather were still a lot of low mist and fog with the sun's out here. So by the time I've turned around and come back, so basically I've lost an hour. But it was a lot further to go. I just thought, nah, just not bother. It's just not worth it. I just missed that 'cause I had my camera off. But if you can just see on the camera, there's two bicycles. Little lad, it's like he's with his grandma. Chocolum. I sort of hate that because chocolum is what you say to an old person. So this is a problem. Grey hair, I'm getting older. I suppose our equivalent would be, when I say hello to everybody, actually say hello. But a lot of people who see the friends and things like that, they'll just go, oh, you're right, hey up, or as in Nottingham, hey up. But I'll tend to say hello mate, or how you doing, or hello. I say hello to a lot of people. I find it more polite. But a lot of the younger generation, they don't really say that as much. But it is, obviously to an older person, you probably would be better off saying hello to a lot of the older people. It's a little bit the same. Anyway, so the sun, it's been nice weather, obviously still no rain, but it was like damp and slippery yesterday, like it's a little bit damp here. So I went to Tesco's yesterday at Tissuvaras, and believe it or not, the roads were very greasy. Been a lot of fog, you see. See, it has been cold. Just as I think the sun's fighting to get out all the time. Because by the time there's a lot of fog, the sun isn't strong enough to burn it away. And then it's late in the afternoon again, and the sun will be going down again. Now yesterday I had a day off from running. I just didn't bother. Give myself a little bit of a rest. But you've got to keep going. It's okay trying to cut down on what you eat, but it's not enough if you're not really physically doing anything. Yeah, so you've got to get out of the house. But anyway, I was going to go to the book, and it's 45 kilometres. I'm not doing it. If I was somewhere in that direction, I was getting changed and going to a restaurant and everything else, but for that run. And plus, some geese. For So the run I'd be doing would be trail run as well, and I've not really got the idea. I've not got, they aren't trail running trainers. I used to have some Salomon. Talking last time I used to do a lot of running before I packed up around 2016, 2015, 2016, and they was road to trail. They're red and black. The only problem with them, it wasn't quite as waterproof on the top where the webbing where your feet breathe. So that was the only problem with them. So if you went too much in where there was grass or quite a bit of heavy rain, I noticed my feet were getting wet, which one wet. They're brilliant trainers, so comfortable. But the only thing I didn't like about them, although they were classed as road to trail, if you're running like on the pavement and the pavement had rain and greasy, especially if a lot of gardens had trees, God, they were like a death trap. So slippy, because trail running shoes, they're almost like football. They've got studs, but they've got I find the sole, the outside sole, is really hard plastic. Well, not plastic, it's like hard rubber. Whereas normal running shoes are soft. So I didn't find them, I didn't find them, they were okay in the dry. As soon as there's too much wet, I've had loads of times when they slipped over. And you definitely can't go running in them when it's icy. So you have to be very careful. So that's where softer rubber's better, i.e. Same with car winter tyres. Car winter tyres, they're very, very soft compound to get grip. Now if the tyres was same as summer tyres, see what happens with normal, what I call summer tyres on cars, when winter comes, the rubber really gets hard. A bit like anybody who's got the hose pipe or anything like that outside, you'll know that the hose pipe goes solid where with the heat in the summer it really goes soft, doesn't it? And that's why normal summer tyres are dangerous in winter, whereas you get winter tyres, really soft rubber, better grip. So it's definitely something I will be doing on my next car, because I won't be driving my Mercedes, the one I've got now. That will just stay as a summer tyre car, or all season, probably mainly summer, because the next car I'm having, I think it's going to be either LDEX driven or 4-wheel drive. So I've got best of both worlds. But even then, being driven in winter, I tell you now, it's still going to have winter tyres on. Because if anybody's seen even tests, front wheel drive car with winter tyres, it's like better grip than a all season summer tyre on a 4-wheel drive. So yeah, that's how much difference it makes. And that's why Germany, it's a legal requirement. So be careful, like in parts of Europe, make sure you check when you're travelling and your tyres, because yeah, it's fine, everything's fine until you get stopped, and that's the problem. And you know, if you did get stopped in winter, German or Austrian police, which I always class Austrians as, there's many Hungarians in Austria, because Hungary owned loads of Austria, like all the surrounding countries. But Austrian police are the worst out of the lot. I'll tell you that right now. If you want hassle, just try and never stop in a service garage to have a break or anything in Austria. Because if you've got anything, they'll strip your car alcohol, cigarettes, they're just going to take the lot off you. So like even when I'm travelling through, when I've gone through the Hungarian border at Egyeshalom, I've got Austria. Austria's not a big country to travel through. I'll make sure, plus it's expensive anyway for fuel, I'll make sure that I always have got the fuel. So the fuel, because I fill up in Hungary before I go. So I always get into Germany. But once I'm through that border, all I will do is get me matrix, me vignette, me toll sticker for Austria at the Hungarian border, Egyeshalom, and that's it. But no, I don't make habit of stopping in Austria because the police, they're all over the place, right? But they really are watching for, they love English cars, English number plate cars. I told you, you know, this is like the problems I've had. I never forget when there was the World Cup, was it 2 or 3 years ago? 4 years, I can't remember. Oh God, I can't remember when it was. When Germany got knocked out pretty early, didn't they? And I had my daughter with me. I think it was longer than that. I had my daughter with me and I was travelling back to England. Of course, what do you used to look like with a bloke in summer, dark skinned and in a vest and lathered with tattoos with gold chain and a cross on. I think they thought I stole my daughter. So they pulled me up. Bless her, she was fast asleep as well in the back. And they had a right go at me because she was lying down with the seatbelt on. So I said, well, she's tired and she's got a cushion, and you know, they just really nitpicking anyway. And I got into a massive argument with them because I told them I've got to get going. You're just giving me really loads of unnecessary hassle now. They checked my boot, they knew I was clear, checked the cases, knew I was clear, seen all the paperwork, daughters, mine, the letter from my ex-wife that she's travelling with me, we've been everything. Yet they were still going on and on and on. But one of them was a right young uppity sort of person. He was really pain in the arse, and he got a right fucking load of shit off me. Anyway, sziasztok! Little few. Anyway, little gypsy boys. See him, chocolate, that's a bit, because they could hear me talking to the camera in English. Anyway, I lost it, didn't I? Basically, my blood was boiling and turning over, and I'd really lost the plot. Do you know what they did? Must have been about 10 of them. All pulled the guns out. My daughter in the car. Said they're going to arrest me because of my attitude. This is what they were doing with me. Said I need to calm down. If I don't calm down, they're arresting me and I'm going to the police station. I'm not going to start telling you what I called them, right? But I went mental. I said, do it. I said, do it. I said, you do it. And I said, I'm going to make sure every single one of you, I'm going to have the authorities pull you up. I said, because I've shown you everything. I've got my little girl with me. You could have let me go, and you just deliberately, this arsehole here, this young one, he was about 25. Thought he was some kind of bodybuilder, right? Proper, I tried to see. You know what it is? As soon as they see my Mercedes coming down, listen, don't matter how old my car is, right? Yeah, it's not brand new, but it's a lovely looking car, and it looks better than the majority of new cars, new Mercedes, because it's a fully loaded example, right? And the way I do my cars, all my cars, and my private plate, many a person has said to me in England as well, never seen a Mercedes same as mine. I'll never forget the Chinese guy at the local McDonald's. He was the manager. I had to wait for my food and he come out to me and he went, "I've never seen an AMG same as this." This is what he was saying to me. "Never seen one same as this." He said, "Oh, it's absolutely lovely." He says, "It's a new one." And I went, "No, you'd be shocked how old it is." Now, it's not dead old, but bear in mind when I had it, it was only about 2 or 3 years old. So that's why I paid a lot of money for it. But the reason why I paid a lot of money for it is because it's fully loaded. I won't buy crap. And I'll tell you now, if somebody had that car off me now, right, you're getting a brilliant car. You really are getting a good car. It's a lovely looking car. And this is what does people's heads in, right? So, I mean, many people have said, "Oh, when your car comes down, it's squatted," and it does, it looks lovely. That's why I won't get rid of it. But if somebody does want it, you better be offering me decent money. Because I ain't giving it away. It's just too much of a good car. And that's why, even if it has to sit for months on end, and me not using it, I don't care. My baby. Yeah, but it's a brilliant car. Yeah, so obviously as soon as I knew it, as soon as I was coming down, I seen the way these security. There's a part in Germany as you're going in, you leave the Austrian border, the Hungarian border, and when you go through the Austrian border into Germany, Németország is, you know, I say it in Hungarian. Németország, Germany. So when you go through the border, you think that's it, but it's not. What they've done, so many miles up the road, they set up a checkpoint. And this all started originally through when we had a lot of terrorist problems, when bombs were going off over England and Germany and everywhere. So I'm going back even before the COVID, well before then. So what they did, they set up a checkpoint, and you go through like radars, but they can check your car, and then you've got like an area on the right. It's a bit like when you go through the customs at Calais, if anybody's ever done it. I mean, clearly anybody who's travelled to that part towards Austrian border, you would have done it yourself. But it's not going to Hungary. It's not going towards Hungary. It's on the way back toward Germany, from Austria to Germany. And they pull you up and there's like white tents. And that's when, if they're suspicious of terrorism, dodgy looking characters, obviously thought I was a dodgy looking character, it gives them suspicious minds, doesn't it? The way the brains work. So clearly they looked at me as nice Mercedes, white nice Mercedes, English plates, private. A guy full of tattoos, really dark skin, sort of dead brown. But the point was, I must admit this, they didn't actually know at the time my daughter was in the car, because it's all tinted and she's in the back. So it had nothing really to do with my daughter. It was when I pulled up, they made a big fuss about it. Because they went, oh, they looked at my car, they went, oh, who's this? Made a big fuss about the little child in the back. Which, I'm glad they do that. I've got no problems with that. Because there is so many, not just perverts, well, they're all perverts, I'll say they're all perverts, but people who, what they call us, we're child sex slavery, innit? Where they're getting moved and stolen to be sold for makes me sick. I don't even like thinking about it, to be honest with you. I mean, to talk about it, but reality, it's true. So I'm sort of glad they did do all that, but you know, I was really responsive to all of that. I did say, even at that time, I said, "Here, here's a phone. You phone the mum up. You phone England up. There's the address. There's the mum. I gave them they want one bit of information they could not have had. They did take paperwork away. Took up paperwork. So clearly they went and checked it up. Because obviously they just checked my daughter's passport. And they realised that she's my daughter. I mean, Jesus Christ got the same surname as well. It's not, I'm being funny, but there's not many Delis. Full stop. Delhi is very, very rare Hungarian name. So, but it's sort of, that was their first alarm bell. And then it just seemed that they were just then after nitpicking with me then, which I didn't find very nice, very nice. But I can understand them going on my daughter, because when my daughter came to Hungary at that time, she was going through a bad time, my daughter, and because she couldn't really accept I was in Hungary, which listen, I completely understand that as well. So she was going to live in Hungary and go to school, and that's why we had so much of her paperwork and everything, which fell lucky in the end. But then she weren't happy. Clearly it was, I'll say I cried for help, but she weren't really happy that, she probably weren't happy that she weren't seeing me, which I understand that, and this is another problem, what I'm saying like now. I've just not been back to home. I've not been back to England for 2 years. So I'm not seeing anybody. I mean, I love Hungary. Like I said, I love Hungary. Just the people. And you know, until the people change and be happier, you know, you're stealing off people. You are. I don't care what you say. You might say you don't do it, somebody else, but there's that. Okay, if the majority, it's a vast majority, who aren't nice people, you are. I mean, I would say that every time I come across a decent Hungarian, I class that as luck. I class that as luck. You're just not happy people. Now I understand, because of your government, right, and Hungary is well down now. I thought at one time it picked up, but I honestly think, right, if Hungary was it in the EU now with Brussels, I don't know what sort of mess they'd be in, because you'd be like a third world country. You'd be really, really, it's only Brussels what's got Hungary out of the shit they've been in. But one thing I will admit, so it goes both ways. When Russia, when it was communist, when they had the clutches on Hungary, people were well off. Poor people were well off. That was the difference, the poor people were well off. And clearly the rich people didn't like it. But like now, everybody's pissed off. But I have to admit, there's still a lot of decent, well-off Hungarians. I mean, they're driving decent cars. So, whether they're paying monthly, whatever they're doing, I think you can get really good deals out here on cars. Because too many people have got decent cars now, even if it's basic cars. They're still running new cars, 2 or 3 year old cars, or new, brand new. I mean, the wages are really shit. Oh God, if I not wanted people me. So clearly they're not going to pay what people would pay out in England. I've always got something to talk about, haven't I? Let me check my pocket for some tissue. I'll kill myself for not bought in. I'll tell you what I've got. I've got 5,000 foreign. About 5,000 foreign now. It's about 12, 13 quid. Probably about 13 quid. Used to be around 15. That was Tisakesi, by the way. That was my Tisakesi. But this time, instead of going the other way, the way I went the other day, Tisatarian, I'm going back towards Aroktu. Now, Tisakesi to Aroktu is about 10 kilometres. Whereas Tisakesi to Tisatarian, about 6 kilometres. Give or take, 5.5, 6. You have to excuse me, my nose. Do you know what? It don't matter how slow I do it, how much I try and think. I always come out of the house with something I haven't got. So I've got my water today, but no, I ain't bought no tissues. No tissues. And I hate snifflers. Now I know you all hate snifflers, and I'm probably doing your head in sniffling. 3.52 kilometres. So 3.52. So what should I do? Should I make my way back? Or should I just keep going? Nice. Woodpecker. See it? All black, that one. Can you hear the geese? Tissa. They're lovely. Well, there's a lot of ponds there where the Tissa had overflown or ice has melted. Could be a little bit of a distance from the Tissa. So probably they're all feeding and the shallow areas. I mean, sounds like there's thousands. It's not crows. Sounds like ducks or geese. God, can you hear them birds? I don't try. I'm trying to be like David Attenborough, but there's actually hundreds of birds. Wait a minute, I'm gonna have to be quiet for 1 second because it's not very good mic. Because I've not got the actual microphone. They're all little birds. I don't know what birds they are, but there's hundreds all up the top there. I've just seen a lot of them. You're not going to pick. This camera's not going to pick it up, and they're all jumping from little branches. They're at the very top. They're lovely. That's why I like coming here. Right, my activity's gone back in. So it doesn't matter, when I stop it, everything stops. Oh, do you know when I mentioned the other day, about me and a motorbike, didn't I? See, I can talk nice, this is the problem. Slang, I can't even say it now. Anyway, when I was mentioned a motorbike the other day, when I went for a run, was it Wednesday? The same evening, one of the other YouTubers who I occasionally watch, what happened was it caught my eye, a video he had up, and it was I don't want to make go on to it too much, but basically it was a guy on a motorbike, had an accident. Clearly the guy's fault. Speeding. He was trying to get away from the police. tell you what, just put me off. Put me off. Really, this is the reason why I never say this to my friends. My friends, my two brothers, they're motorbike mad. They used to talk to my dad. One of them used to talk to my dad a lot about motorbikes because my dad liked motorbikes. Because my dad used to have them. My dad loved motorbikes. But in his younger days he did. But the problem is, what really puts me off, I've always been put off by, so I'll tell you a few little stories. I've always been put off by the amount of traffic on the roads. And I'm not saying it's always the motorcyclist or it's not always the cyclist. I'm not saying it that. But the accidents, if you get hit by a lorry, bus, car, or even if you don't notice and you're either going too fast on the motorbike and you crash, or a bicycle's a little bit different. You're not doing the same speed as although you can die, can't you, still on a bicycle? If you're going fast or you hit the wrong thing and bang your head or whatever. But I'm just saying with the bicycle, it's when other people hit you, whether your fault or their fault, right? So what I'm just trying to say to you regarding that is, you're more likely, of course you're going to come off worst, whether your fault on the motorcyclist or the bicycle, or it's not your fault and the lorry driver, the car driver, the bus driver or whatever's not seen you, or pedestrians come out in front of you and then you've had to swerve, right? Yeah. So I'm not trying to say it's the motorcyclist or the bicycle's fault. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It's one of the things, isn't it? The problem is, you get hit, you're going to come off worse either way. Now, what put me off regarding bicycles on the main road. Now, I won't ride a bicycle on the main road. Now, you're probably saying, well, are you one of them people who goes across the pavement? No, I'm not, who goes across the pavement driving like a nutter. I use cycle paths, but I will use the pavement, but I won't go flying across the pavement if there's loads of people. So if I was to see a family coming, I wouldn't expect them to move out of the way from me. I get off my bike. Now that's the sort of person I am. Because the pavement is for pedestrians, right? So yeah, I make sure that nobody can fire bullets at me for being in the wrong. So I'm a polite person, and I would never ever go flying like there's going to be a lot of you people who do it, because I've seen it. And I will tell you something now. A guy on a mountain bike hit my mum when she got off the bus on the pavement. Obviously, I think I know the guy who did it, but I don't know him as in know him. But I think I've seen the guy before. I'm going back a few years ago now again, about 5 years, 6 years ago. There was a guy with bald head in my local town, probably going to a Marshik, talking Hungarian again, going to a Marshik town. Oh, Marshik, God, Marshik is the other, talking Hungarian. He was going to from Beeston to Long Eaton, and he goes a lot of pavements because when it gets busy at rush hour, you don't want to be on the road. Well, my mum got off the bus, he was going that fast, he smacked my mum's wrist. Now, you can't really go around blaming my mum because my mum's not like 20, and she shouldn't have to go around and have to look left and right for a crazy twat coming along on a bicycle. But he hit her wrist, and her wrist was a mess. Black. Right, could have broke her wrist or anything, right? I mean, yeah, of course I did. I tried to find him, didn't I? Waited for him, never seen him again. So probably, clearly, he went a different way after that. Because I bet you, the way he hit her, I bet he knew he was going to get repercussions. Because the bus driver, even he's seen and the bus driver actually stopped. And my mum said, "Are you alright?" Now, this to all you people on bicycles, right, you're going along the pavement, listen, fucking get something straight, right? Pavement is for pedestrians. There is no problem you going across that pavement on your bike. I do it. And I will get round to telling you why I do it. And you won't want to go on the road again. But don't go along the pavements, flying in and out like you're some kind of rally driver, right, dodging people. You respect the pedestrians, little children, because It's so easy to kill a pedestrian, especially a child or an old person, by hitting them with your bicycle at a decent speed, not even at a fast speed. That person goes over and smacks their head on a wall. It's happened, hasn't it? It happened years ago, didn't it? A kid or someone died, child, due to an idiot in a bicycle. Said he didn't see the child or the child didn't move. The child doesn't need to move for you. He doesn't need to move for you. You need to get off your bike and go around him. Don't even stand there pinging your bell, right? Because they do, don't they? This is a new thing in England, isn't it? You're on the pavement, right? There's no cycle lane. And what they're doing is, no cycle lane on the pavement. And they're pinging the bell at you, aren't they? Like, can you move? Yeah, you get off your fucking bike or go on the road, right, and go around them. Respect it, listen. It goes both ways. It's like having a car or motorcycle going along the pavement. End of the day, it's for pedestrians. Right, now, the reason why I'm going to get round to you is, I have no problem with bicycles going on the pavement, providing respect the pedestrian, right? Because what I'm going to tell you now, what I did see, 453, what runs out of Nottingham, what goes towards Kegworth, that side of Kegworth, where the power station. So anybody who drives cars, everybody will know where I'm on about in Nottingham. But you've got the power station, you've got the 453, that runs from Clifton and runs to the motorway, right? Now, I know now, is it 2 and 3 lane now, isn't it? Last time I went on it, but in that time when that was finished, I was in Hungary. So there's a lot of roads I don't even know now, since I packed up lorry driving and moved here. Because I mean, in 2 years, a lot of things can get done in England, can't they? Built. But I know that I have been back, and I think it's a couple of lanes they've got down there now, which is fantastic. Probably one of the best things they've ever done around that area. For the amount of traffic what used to build up there in the morning and in the tea time. Because when I used to use that a lot, I was on cigarettes running from Imperial Tobacco in Nottingham. And you leave the yard, you had a choice. Either go the long way round to go back towards Derby, that way, A52, trying to get on the motorway to go south, or you just chill out, get on the 453. Because you have to watch some of those back roads up near British Gypsum and a lot of them, because some of them roads, you're not supposed to go down some of them for 44-ton lorries. So you have to be careful. They don't like it. So, what is it? Gotham. Not Gotham, is it? Yeah, we've got Gotham in Nottingham. Gotham is in Batman. Gotham, that's where British Gypsum is. I hope it's still there. My dad used to work there, but I'll talk about that in a minute. 1 second. Just checking me, always making sure that my camera's running. So, it's nice now. So anyway, I'm on cigarettes, and I've left the yard about, I think I left around 6-ish, 20 past 6, and it was a lovely summer in England. The sun was coming up over the 453. This is when it was single lane, so I'm going back a few years now. And as I'm going along 40 mile an hour, there was lorries behind me and cars as well, in front of me as well, but it was all moving nice because I was going to be missing the main traffic, so I was happy. So we're looking around 6-ish, 20 past 6 in the morning. But lovely morning, and as I could see, coming this way like a person on a bicycle going towards Nottingham, there's a guy with shorts on, mountain bike, yellow vest. He had everything what I would say a good road using cyclist, something I would do, but I won't go on that road. I don't care whether you're right or whether you're wrong, right? Now we all know, or anybody knows that road, if there's traffic coming that way, I was going that way, traffic were coming this way, you can't really well, and it's not really, you just can't overtake a cyclist with a 44 tonne Arctic lorry, whether it's 44 tonne or whether it's 38 tonne or 40 tonne. They're all going to be the same size in length. I've got a full 45 foot trailer. But anyway, with this lorry, I remember it so well. It's a spotless ERF. I'll tell you what stood out the most with it. I don't know what he was pulling, whether it was diesel, petrol, or I just don't know what he was pulling. But he had this crate, I imagine it was petrol. But the tank, it was like the lorry was almost, it almost looked, everything just looked brand new. But the tank was so shiny, it was a chrome tank, and it was an immaculate lorry. And that's what really stood out with me when I was looking. And the sun, the way the sun was coming up, it was reflecting on it. Now as I seen this cyclist coming up, I'm looking and I'm at a distance, so I knew I was way away, where nowhere near him, I could just see it. And I was thinking, is that lorry going to go around that cyclist? So the lorry's behind the cyclist, so the cyclist would be, so I'm coming that way, the cyclist is there, say there. This lorry is not about to do this, go round, talking like a twat now. It's like doing flat out. He didn't want doing 40 mile an hour. This was probably one of the worst things about it. But there was no problem with that. Yes, this is what I need to also explain. Now I know the speed limit. They was going to put the speed limit up on lorries, weren't they? Was it 50 mile an hour on single carriageway? Because that 40 mile an hour speed limit for lorries was set many years ago. The lorries now can almost stop on a 10-penny piece now, fully loaded. Brakes are better, everything's better. So that 40 mile an hour speed limit in my eyes is too slow, because you look how many lorries hold cars up now, the ones who stick to the bang on 40. That's my opinion, and there'll be some people who'll say no, there'll be some drivers who'll say, well, yeah, I think it has been. It might have been. I've not even been checking myself, because I'm not driving a lorry, so the speed limit might have gone up to 50, but I bet it hasn't. But it's 40 on a single carriageway for lorries, 40 mile an hour, which is absolutely nothing. But because being it at 40 mile an hour, any more speed, of course, it's going to do more damages. But 40 and 50 mile an hour with a new lorry, with the way the lorries are now, I can't see it making that much difference, to be honest with you. But anyway, so I'm driving down towards it, and I can see this cyclist. He's doing nothing wrong, and he's really hugging up towards the grass verge. See, so what you've got, you were like that, the pavement, and here would be the balustrade, the galvanised balustrade, which was set off because it's embankment going towards the power station. So this cyclist is doing everything right, but what mainly caught my eye was, I kept thinking, when is this lorry going to actually properly overtake this bicycle? Because I could see him getting closer and closer, and he weren't driving slow. I'm just saying off my head, he might have been doing full 56 mile an hour at the time, 53, I don't know. Some firms were set at 60, some were all over the place, weren't they? But I could see him really approaching. I know you're saying, can you just get to the point? Well, he were never indicating or anything to go around this bicycle. So I'm sitting there and I'm in a trance now, because I'm thinking, he's going to hit the cyclist. You know what he did? He did, full pelt. He hit the cyclist on the back wheel, never even attempted to go around him. He hit him, and all I remember seeing, the back wheel, it's so clear, the back wheel just went, the way the bumper of the lorry pushed down on the back end of the bicycle, and as the lorry hit the bicycle. The bicycle, obviously, because the back end of the bicycle was going down like this, so imagine if the guy's riding the bike now, he sort of went like this, but it happened so quick, it went and threw the guy backwards off the bike, and as the guy went in the air backwards, a bit like the Matrix, backwards like that, his head here, the back of his head, if anybody knows, used to have them on all the ERFs back in the day. You have them now on lorries. On the sides, you have like wind deflectors, big wind deflectors. Some are in different sizes. They sit about, I would say they're about head height of a person if they're standing in front of the lorry. They're on the side of the lorry. So his head hit the passenger side of the lorry, because the lorry's obviously coming that way, so it hit him here. So imagine if he's going towards Nottingham now. As he went up in the air, and when his head hit this air deflector, wind deflector they are, completely dismantled it, shattered. That's how hard his head hit it. Well, by this time I'm feeling physically sick, because it happened so fast. But I remember all the parts and everything going all over. And then after his head hit it, fucking guy went flying lessons. Went up in the air like this, up there. I thought at the time the lorry would then hit him with the as he went up in the air, it hit him with the winder as well. He just went right up in the air, like above it. He went above the cab, but like to the side, over. Completely missed all the balustrading, went straight down the embankment. But by this time, now I've got to explain to you now. I've got to explain all this to you now. This is no excuse, because it was irrelevant. I didn't need to do anything. But I'm just going. But the point was, I can't just stop my lorry and get out. Anybody who knows that sort of job, what I do, right? And I can't go into too much detail. No, I'm not. I've promised I'd never say it, and I'm not going to go into detail. But I can't just stop my lorry. It causes mayhem. Right, so I quickly looked in my mirror, and I've got loads and loads of traffic behind me, because I'm that shocked I've slowed right down. I gets going, and behind, everybody's now stopping, jumping out of the cars, lorries, everything. So I just went. I just went. It was all being dealt with. But you know, the worst thing about it was, the lorry driver who hit the bicycle, he never stopped. He kept going. Then he stopped. It was as if he hit it's like what I'm thinking. It's like he'd never even seen the cyclist at all. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the sun was there. Or was it there? I can't think at the time. But the sun was in my eyes. Now, if the sun was up there, the sun might have been dazzling this lorry driver. I don't know. I really don't know. Because as he went past the cyclist and carried going, then he slapped his brakes on and he was proper skidding to stop, like he realised when he hit the cyclist the noise. Then he realised he'd hit somebody. I bet he didn't even know he hit a cyclist at first. Now I checked paper, news, there were nothing. There's no way. I know bodies, they say that bodies can withstand a lot more than what you think. But geez, this poor little guy, I don't know. I'm never going to know him. But everybody, like Rocket's got out and dealt with it. And I always said after that, I'd tell my daughters never to go on the road again on a bicycle. and I'm never going on the road again. Never. I obviously thinking, I don't even think it killed the guy, to be honest with you. In fact, as bad as it looked, he may not have. Can I just say, you know when he hit that wind deflector with his head and it smashed, that's almost a bit of a good sign really, that the wind deflector smashed. Okay, let's just say in the worst scenario, the guy's got cut his head open, or he's got a ridiculous... It's really hard to say, because if I was to say to you a 44-ton lorry is going to hit you at 40 mile an hour, 50 mile an hour, whatever speed, you're just going to say you're dead, aren't you? But I can assure you, if that guy died on that 453, that would have been on the local news, on every newspaper. There were never nothing. And I think I actually contacted somebody that day, or after that, can't remember, but there were not, I don't think there was anything, nothing about this guy. But I think with that wind deflector smashing, it might have sort of saved his life, because it's not like hitting something completely solid. And the fact, the way, another thing what felt right with him, it sort of, the bike had sort of buckarooed him away from the lorry, so that might be another thing. I mean, believe it or not, his bicycle didn't even go underneath the lorry. When his bicycle went down and he went, the bicycle sort of went the other way as well. But listen, right or wrong, right, don't be putting your children in a position on the road. I'm being serious, because I could go on about many stories where I could tell you about when my dad's company, one guy turned right at a set of traffic lights in Lenton in Nottingham. There used to be anybody who knows it again. Before the lorries used to go past the Showcase Cinema, the way back to the depot, because it was on Willow Road, Stirling's and TDG. Anybody who knows Fitcherton Woolcock, the woodyard what sits on Willow Road, it was on the corner. There's a lot of all new in business parks here now. So you'd go over that from Central Studios. You would then, so you had Rennie Og Freight, R&H Haulage, which is Kern & Nagel now. Has it completely packed up? I don't know. Is it a new depot somewhere else? But R&H then got bought out by Kern & Nagel, which is bigger than Dutch Post, which runs, see, I know all the haulage companies, what runs DHL. Because I've worked for DHL everywhere. I have DHL at the airport as well. I've done them I've done jobs for them, driving their DAFs and Mercedes, their big Mercedes and DAFs, doing what you would call day nighting out. So you drive all the way through the night to a destination, and you'd be asleep the whole daytime, and then you'd wake up at night and drive back with a load on. So you'd have to go near Rennie Og Freight, up where Honda used to be. This is anybody who knows Nottingham. Then you'd have to go past Central Studios, which isn't there no more. Then you go over the train bridge, turn left, go onto Willow Road. Stirling's TDG was on the right. Fitchett and Woolcock was at the top one there. They had little green lorries, woodyard. So anybody who's had family, dads, relatives working for Fitchett and Woolcock will know exactly what I'm on about. Stirling's TDG was at the bottom on the right hand side. So yeah, because my dad did, when he had his B Reg, which was a C Series ERF, the one what you see on the front of that video I've got on YouTube, that ERF Stirling's. He got that lorry, I think the B Reg was it 1990, was it B Reg 1995? No. 95, sorry. 85, yeah, 85. The B Reg was 1985. So it was 84, 85 when Central Studios, if anybody knows this, and I've got to say this, if anybody has got that, it was actually on Central News or ITV News at the time when it first opened the studios, their first Christmas tree. If anybody has actually got that on a VHS tape, please contact me, please. Because that's my dad who did that Christmas tree in that red lorry, E.R. Sterling's. I think I did contact them years ago, many years ago, after my dad died, around 2000. And they said, yeah, they have. It was, because you always think that the footage goes on for ages, don't you? But I think it was only something like, I don't know how many, about a minute and a half. And it probably wasn't even that. It's only all them small clips you see on the news or whatever, you think they go on for minutes, but they don't. They can be like 30 seconds, 50 seconds, whatever. So yeah, my dad did the Central Christmas tree, and what he did, he had a police escort. The actual tree was a Norway spruce. It was a Norway spruce, got collected from Norway. It was 70 metres long, and my dad had a police escort. And then it's showing you my dad with the lorry and the crane lifting it off the lorry at Central Studios. And then it shows you my dad at the time in his green Sterling's, or blue, I think they were blue Sterling's uniform, because they used to have the red emblem with blue and silver and blue uniform. Later on the green uniform was TDG. And he was like bending over and he was helping the guy lower the trunk into the hole for their first Christmas tree. So if anybody's got that footage, please contact me, because that's my dad. Who did the first Central Studios Christmas tree around 1985-ish. I think that's when it started, wasn't it? It was 84, Central Studios started. And then they had the first Christmas, first Christmas. And I'm spitting now, first Christmas, and my dad did that. So please, if you've got any of them VHS cassettes, because we all used to record, I don't know if anybody's actually got that footage of that. If you have, can you please contact me, because that's my dad. Yeah. But yeah, that's what always put me off bicycles anyway on the road. But I have no problem with anybody doing anything like a bicycle on the pavement. I mean, I don't think it's right people riding through precincts on bicycles. I don't think they shouldn't do it. There's children playing, you know, you just shouldn't do it. Just get off your bike. Most precincts you're not allowed anyway. Get off your bicycle. But that scenario has put me off. It's put me off motorbikes as well, because I'll tell you about another story what happened here. Around 2012, a guy died in Mezzachart here. Sun's gone in. Probably walking that long, don't we? I better start going back in a minute. He's on an high-powered race sports bike. Both of them were drunk. Best of friends. And as they were going out of the town to where the football ground is, they have big concrete posts here, splashed with like what you call that, pebble dash type, solid, and they have like double concrete at the bottom. Horrible posts they are. Well, on the right hand side, this is well, it's not funny, but that's exactly where it happened. On the right hand side, there's like it's good, brilliant, absolutely superb thing for families and children. They've actually got a mini pavement which is done out with like a traffic light system, but they're not really traffic lights. But I imagine if they did proper training, they probably would put some bullshit traffic lights up, running off like battery powered. They've got like a roadway, so children learn to stop, give way, and they drive all around, learn all the signs on the road. And they've got this area. Well, so these two guys, one riding it, he was riding the motorbike really, really fast, and as he's crazy speed out of the town, it did a wheelie, lost control. And as he lost control, because both drunk anyway, he hit this concrete post, but the lad at the back, his mate, caught his back thigh on the, so you know where I'm going, don't you? So his back thigh hit the post, ripped his leg off backwards, not just ripped it off. Obviously the main artery's here, isn't it? So he bled to death. The guy who, the lad who's still in the Mesochart now, in the town, I think he's got away with it. Wrong really, but they're both as bad as each other. But he still shouldn't have got away with it either way because he was drinking and driving, and somebody still died in his hands. But even though they're both at fault, doesn't matter whether the guy at the back wasn't riding the bike. You don't know what he was saying to him. They're both drunk. He was on the back of them. It's like, dude, he was with his best mate. So it's going to go both ways. They're both as bad as each other. Well, so the guy who was riding the bike, he then flew over that area. 30 metres he went in the air, so that's how fast they were going. And he hit a house fence or wall at the back, smashed his head. Well, I think he got a bit of brain damage from it. But because his family's got money and businesses, there's loads of rumours that somebody got paid off, courts and everything else. And instead of going into... Can't believe that. It's going to be 14 kilometres. Now I know what you're saying, well get running then and stop walking and not being tired. Anyway, the guy got away with it. I personally think he should have got locked up. Killed somebody. Doesn't matter. Both at fault as far as I'm concerned. Goes both ways. No point that parents. There's no point in the parents, families of, they're even going on about it now, they're still not happy. But the parents, right, no point the parents going on blaming the lad. They're both as bad. Best of mates. I mean, if that were me and one of my best mates back in the day, whoever were riding, yeah, of course it's bad. But you've got to be sensible and look at it and think, well, best of mates, both drunk. They both know what they're getting into. But what I noticed it the other day, that there's another memoriam been put, a fresh memoriam, all candles and everything and pictures. I mean, it is, yeah, of course it's terrible. But, you know, you have to look at it. You see, I look at it as in, I'm sorry, I'm fucking deserved it, didn't they? Both of them. Listen, they are lucky they didn't kill a child, right? Yeah, I know it hasn't happened, it's not the point. So if a car comes flying down here now at 100 miles an hour and just misses me, or I jump out of the way, I don't have to really theoretically move because this isn't a road, is it? Right? I can tell you now, probably if a car did hit me on here, I'm being serious now, I know Hungarians, right? If a car or motorcyclist hit me on here, full pelt, and I went over and died ill, I can bet you any money, I can bet you everything I've got, bet they won't stop. Do you know why they won't stop? They won't stop because there are no cameras, no people. Their brain would say to them, fucking hell, I'm going to prison. Right? I couldn't do that. I'd just stop. You just fucking can't, you just can't do it. But I know, I can tell you now, I know, probably not everybody, I know the majority, some of them were especially gypsies. They'd leave me for dead. They'd leave me for dead here. So, but this is why I won't be now having a motorbike. I won't be having one. I'm not having one. I don't want to die, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm going to die, but I don't want to die body parts going all over the road. But what I was just going to say to you about that's what I was going to say to you. In Lenton at Nottingham, that's what I was trying to say to you. When I was on about my dad and the Christmas tree, obviously later on you had to go past Central Studios over the train bridge to take the lorry back. Now anybody knows from that area back in the day, 70s, 80s, it might have been the really early 90s or the end of the late 80s. People basically didn't like lorries eventually going past their houses in certain parts in Nottingham. It probably goes for a lot of towns. But this is what I'm trying to say to you. Certain roads, I don't know what the problem is with it. Because, you know, when a lorry driver has to go well out, a good 3 or 4 or 5 mile out his way because of people who decide on a 40 mile an hour road this is as well. I'm not talking about a bit back street, 20 mile an hour 30. I'm on about when they say, oh, we don't want lorries going past. No, you don't want lorries going past your house because you're rumbling. Obviously buses still go past your house and loads of cars, but you don't want lorries going past your house, but you want the goods on the shelf. And when your goods aren't on the shelf quickly, you're the first people to moan to the shopkeeper saying, why haven't you got that in stock or whatever? Well, the lorry delivery hasn't arrived yet. Well, why hasn't it arrived yet? Well, because he's had to go fucking 10 mile round away from the town, from the actual city centre or the area, a road where, this is straight up, this is what I'm telling you, because he's had to go further way round now to get to the shop, the store, right? So that's one thing, how it works, right? It's one of those scenarios where, unless you're doing the job, you don't really know the nitsy gritty and the ins and outs of it all. But this is a fact. And you know, it's the same for the lorry driver who's going back home. He's dropped his trailer off, or he's taken his trailer, he's on his way and he just wants to get home. And this poor guy is thinking, oh, I can remember I used to go that way. And now I've got to go all the way around. Shit, he's got to go home, he wants to get to bed. You know, and this road is probably clear now. Half of you are probably in bed, but he's not allowed to go down there no more. So, this is the problem. This is the problem with today's life. But what I was going to say to you was, when you used to go to the White Hart in Lenton, in Nottingham, Lenton, where the church is on your right, and you used to go back and you used to go past everybody knows the Red Cow. That was my dad's local in Lenton, Red Cow. You had the boat, which was round the corner, the Red Cow. Well, at them lights there, because the lights were tight, the lorry driver had to block both lanes to turn right, because if he didn't block that lane, idiot car drivers go, which you know, the ones who do it, idiot car drivers would squeeze past, that when the trailer cocks out, car or whatever to get wiped out, then the car driver would be moaning, so you have to block both lanes up to turn right, because the arse end kicking out. I mean, in them days, it could be even worse, because some of the lorry trailers, what was for booze, was single axle with the axle right on the arse end. Well, they never really moved. Horrible they were. You couldn't just turn because you'd wipe the traffic lights out. But I'm just going to mention something quickly. There's a big auk or eagle up there, taking in the lovely warm sun, doing a few circles. Camera won't pick it up, but hopefully we might be able to get a better look if he stays around there. But one of the lorries, one of my dad's Sterling's lorries turned there, and unfortunately, wasn't the lorry driver's fault. Cyclist decided to get on the lorry driver's blind spot as the trailer were cocking round, and this is again horrible thing to talk about. Horrendous, sickening. He got drove over by the rear axles of the trailer, and I'm not even going to go into the nitty gritty, but it made the lorry driver that hill. He didn't go back to work for a very, 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 very long time, and I imagine anybody who's seen it couldn't get on with their life. You would never get that image out of their head. So this is the things what people don't see, and you don't. Whereas if you're in Russia, China, Muslim states, they don't shy away from real footage on news reports. Now I personally wouldn't, I'm not happy seeing anything like that. I'm not one of them people, I can't get on with seeing dead people. I don't like it. I don't know what it is. I just don't like that type of thing. But a lot of countries, especially like Russia, Ukraine, they don't shy away from it. You see what's happened, you see it. And the bird's moved over there a little bit now. There we can see it. Doing some big circles. You see him? I don't know whether the camera's picking it up. But this poor guy on this bike, yeah, it was his fault, but obviously didn't really understand the lorry. It is horrendous, terrible. I'm not going to talk about it anyway. But can you please, many of you who've got children, teenagers, parents, please, and it's not just lorries, buses as well, even cars. Oh, there's one here, another one, flying low. See it? Going into the trees. I tell you what, I've got to say this to anybody. I know that there's a lot of bird spotters come from England. I did see someone on a plane when I used to go to Budapest and stay with me in my friend's apartment. It's my good friend's apartment. I spoke to her about, there's about 10 of them, these what they call bird, Tweety bird people who come, and he says we love Hungary because the wildlife's amazing. And we're going up with, they said they're going to the Autobahn, which is not far from here. Asdu Bihar, Megya County. Yeah, another one there, look. Can you see, look, just in this what, 1 minute or 2 minutes, 3. So look, there's one there. The one's gone somewhere over there now. There's one here, and one is in these trees here. I'll tell you what, I've got to get my Nikon camera done, because I need to really, I might come out here, deliberately walk in, might see if I can get some really good photos. Here, another one. Look. Aren't they beautiful? Look at the wings under that one, all white. Absolutely beautiful. Now, like David Attenborough, they are amazing birds, aren't they? You don't realise, I've got to say this, you don't realise how big they are till you come close to them. I mean, they're big. Wingspan, I would probably say is my body, which is really big. I mean, I'm really tall, so you can imagine they must be 3 meters in length. I'm so tall. Yeah, look. Just beautiful. That's what I love about Hungary. Lovely. It's like I said to you, the country's lovely. Wildlife's amazing. So yeah, please don't try and force your children and everybody onto the road. And you know, like I said to you, I'm not saying it's your fault. Sometimes it might not be your fault, but it's just not a nice way to go. And unfortunately, what I do, even me now, if I have whatever, I ain't got a bicycle now, but I'll just stay on I definitely wouldn't go on a bike here on the roads, because they really are careless. They ain't got a clue how to drive. But it's so true about lorries and what people don't understand. Why doesn't the lorry driver see the car at the side of him? Why doesn't the lorry driver? You can't see, you can go and put 1,000 mirrors on a lorry, right? You got the mirror at the front, what looks down at the front of the cab. Everything, once you've got a car at your tank, even me, on driving in England on the right hand side, if a car sits at my tank, my tank is on this side, I'm just saying, you cannot really see the car. People just don't realise, and you know, you car drivers, or whatever, bicycles, whatever, we can't see you. And if you're right at the back of the trailer, you see the other one's just up there, and the other one's there. Oh, I've got no hot dogs for you, anything. Do you know what? Maybe if I bought some chicken. Just some normal uncooked chicken. What if they could catch it off my hands? Think they'd take it off my hands? They'd probably grab my head, wouldn't they? Rip my ear out. Where the sun rays is coming down. They love it, don't they? The other one's up there. It's amazing how they actually know where the other one goes. You think how small they are, but see, he's decided to go that route. To the other one. Being funny. Looks like it's going to rain, doesn't it? Or snow. Yeah, so my opinion is just keep off the road, and if you go on the pavement, either get off your bike at certain areas or try and stay on cycle paths. But please be careful, because you don't want your child or yourself or whatever under a lorry. No, and when I say lorry, I'm trying to blame the lorry driver. The problem is people don't realise lorries. It's not a joke. I see it loads. I've been in the lorry. I've seen cyclists go around me, right, when I've been in traffic. London's absolutely horrendous for you fucking idiots in London. And there were them ones who were in London, he was leaning on my trailer with his hand like that. Put my window down, I says, get your arm off my trailer. I said, because if I pull off, you could go under my rear axles. No, he did. Told me to fuck off. I thought, right then. Didn't say another word. So I waited. You know what I did? Put my foot down. Lorry's automatic. So they quickly jerk off. Fucking hell. Can't believe. Now that would be a blooper, wouldn't it? That would be a blooper. No, I'm not even going to say the lorry just pulled off fast. I accelerated away quicker than what I would normal. And what happened was, he went like that. I did it deliberately. He deserved it. Because if he ain't going to listen to me, and all he's going to do is tell me to fuck off. Yeah, you cyclists in London, right? Right? Oh, do you know what? What makes me laugh? You're always the first people to complain, and some of you motorcyclists, to go and blame somebody else. You can go around with your camera. I could slap a camera on my head, right? Drive around in my car and try and pick fault with every single cyclist and motorbike, right? No, I do. I get pissed off seeing this on YouTube. The motorcyclists who I see with the helmet or bicycle, and it's like you're going out and you what you're doing, you're putting all these videos up, but you're not putting, I know for a fact you're not putting the full video up. Right? And majority of the population know as well. What you're doing is, you're just seeing what you want to see. But I mean, even some of the videos you put up, I thought, can I just say something? If every single person, when somebody pulls out, if they pull out of a road, and you can clearly see that it's not intentional, they're at a distance, but you've decided to go faster and not even slow down at all, and then when you do get upon this vehicle, you're bibbing them and saying they pulled out in front of you. No. Why don't you just ease off a little bit and let that vehicle go? Because you're the typical person who would blame every lorry driver or every loaded vehicle or bus for who is struggling to pull out, and blame them for deliberately pulling out in front of you like it was deliberate. No. The road is for everybody, and it's using your brain. The majority of videos I've seen, you get so many motorcyclists and cyclists, you're just out there blaming, like you're picking fault with every single person, right? Do you know how many cyclists I see? Loads of car drivers agree with me, and bus drivers and lorry drivers. Why the fucking hell do you have to ride in a row of 4 and 5? I'm going to say this because it's true. You fucking do deserve to be run over. You do. Why do you have to block the whole road up? Because you decided you want to have a conversation with each other. Instead of riding behind each other against the curb, you all think that you have a right to go in a big bunch, block the whole fucking road up, right? And expect every bus driver and lorry driver and car driver to wait for you fucking shower. That's how ignorant you are. So don't be blaming all the car. In fact, get off the fucking road, because clearly you don't know the road rules. The whole road isn't for a cyclist. You are supposed to go near the pavement. End of. End of. If you can't fucking ride your bike proper, get off the fucking road or jack it in full stop. Because half of you, what you do now, you all go around with cameras on. That's like me now, slapping the camera on my car and deliberately picking fault with every single person. No, I'm going to wait, I'm going to do something. Oh, I'm going to get behind him and wait. We all could do that. Everybody could do it all day long. We all could do it. The problem is with a lot of people, it's so easy for, like me, who spent all his hours on the road, most of his life on the road. I see all this, right? And you know what? Too many people are so easy to come blame the other person. But the point is, you can't just go around bibbing everybody or getting mad with somebody because they pull out. If it's not pulled out, if somebody pulls out in front of you and they wave to you like they're apologetic and it wasn't deliberate, right? It's carelessness. It's carelessness. It won't be an accident. It's carelessness, right? And you had a crash or something. It's not. I don't even class that as an accident. It's carelessness, and yeah, it's bad. But when there's a fair distance and somebody pulls out, it doesn't really give you the right to keep that same momentum speed what you're doing without even backing off a little bit, because there's going to be traffic. You're not really going to get any further anyway, but deliberately picking fault with a certain vehicle or whatever is pulled out in front of you at a distance because you just can't be bothered to back off for 1 second. You decide to keep that power on. You pulled out in fucking front of you. He hasn't pulled out in front of you. No. You have decided, you're that pissed off because you think that fucking road's your road. Well, it's not. It's for millions of people to use, right? You have to back off. That's life. You back off. It's not a fucking racetrack. You back off. And there you go. You know, we all could actually turn around and say, well, you're not allowed to weave in and out of cars. That's the road. Weaving past and knocking everybody's mirror off. We all could say, well, that's wrong. Because theoretically it is. It doesn't really give you a right to go pushing in front of cars. Even if you're on a cycle. It doesn't really give you the right. If there's a row of cars, you really, by law, this should be actually a law, you sit behind them like you, like everybody else. Why? Because as soon as the moment happens where a car pulls off or a lorry pulls off and you get caught, you're the first people to say, didn't you see me coming? Well, some people will probably turn around and say, well, not really going to be able to see. Yeah, the law will be using in the mirrors. The law will use the mirrors. But they don't. Why should they have to specifically look out for a motorbike coming through 500 centimetre, 50 centimetre gap? Why should they have to look for a 50 centimetre gap for you to come through? Or whatever. Because they know a car ain't coming through there. So why do they have to really look out for you? How about you get behind the queue and carry on queuing? Because the fact is, half of you do clip car mirrors and you just drive off. But you see, you're not going to show all that and you're not going to say that you do that because you don't want people realising that's how a lot of you ride. So it goes both ways. See, I've seen it. I've seen you fucking arseholes who ride like that. I've seen you. Piss me fucking right. You deserve to fucking, be honest, you deserve to die. You fucking deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve to get knocked off your bike or bicycle, whatever. Don't go around blaming car drivers and lorry drivers and bus drivers for every single thing. I hate them videos, I do. Because I've seen some of them and I thought, do you know what? You know what, you piss me right off. You really do. Does my head in. Anyway, I'm not talking about it anymore, I'm getting ratty again. And I'll tell you something now. I'm chafing. My arse, oh God, I'm chafing. Oh, I'm gonna have to get some cream or some talcum powder. I can half moan, I can, you know, can't I? I'm like, imagine me, I'd be like the perfect husband, but you'd have to have a cane, wouldn't you? So, I love cooking, I'm tidy, I do everything, but then you'd have to get a cane and say, can you like shut up now and stop fucking going on, because now you are doing my fucking head in. I'm one of them, aren't I? You have to say, go and just sit there and be quiet and don't say another word for at least 10 minutes. Sick of hearing your voice. But, I'm going to run. But this bit here is lovely, isn't it? Lovely for cycling. Yeah. I'm supposed to be running, and all I'm doing is talking about my life. That'd be me in my field, cutting the grass. Oh, yeah. I'm thinking, oh, it's catching my ears. I think I better go for a nutcracking sack. That's so. Oh, that hurts. That is sore. Now I feel like I've got something up my arse. Oh, my legs, my thighs. My thighs under my bollocks. Oh, that's sore. water. Little watchtower. I think the hunters use them, don't they? Twice. Can't stand them. See how it says Cotier farm. It's a gypsy. Yeah, it says our up to the gypsy town. Saying that's his farm. You want to put? Can't figure out what he's probably thinking is. He's probably thinking there's plenty of. He's probably thinking there's plenty of ducks in there. He's probably hungry. They don't care about animals here, you know. They almost, I always say that a lot of these people here, they still live in the dark ages, very prehistoric. You see that guy there on the bicycle, he's like he's coming back here. I'll tell you now, it wouldn't surprise me. He's the typical guy to come here and shoot him or try and catch him and he'll eat him. Terrible. Now he's decided to come back, so what he's done is obviously gone down there, listened to the ducks, and he's probably thinking, oh, won't mind eating some of them. He's probably saying, oh yeah, the ducks are still there, let's get the gun, let's get the catcher, let's get him, got a weekend dinner. Keçiyi de moştu igen. It's cold. I must say, the sun's gone. I don't know because it's wind loss. The wind's picked up. Looking at it, I don't like that. That's the space now, it's just changed. know what you was all thinking. Catch him, overtake him. No. Because if I collapsed, he'd leave me. He would leave me. Oh, the weather's changed so much. I'm feeling it on my hands. I'm not doing any talking on the way back, if you notice. Concentrating on running. Come on, let's see if we can catch up with him. Pain here. See that? It's not. I think it's the cold. It's gone really bitter. It's gone really bitter cold. Bitterly cold. You know what? Excuse me. He keeps turning around to see where I am. Tell you what, do you know what, I'm looking so forward to getting my body back. I want to be a different person. I will be a person you not want to fuck with, I tell you. When I get back to my old way, fit again, I get back to them old ways, my old days of like a rocket. So I like to be. There'll be no fucking person mugging me. Ever. That's why I tell you, you gotta stay ahead of the game all the time. You got it, honestly, I'm being serious. The older you get, when you start to get to my age, anybody told you, your body's not the same. I've always looked alright, so it just is. The older you get, your body, if you like, because I don't work, you can't start putting unnecessary fat on, and you feel it. You don't. I mean, I remember them steps in this house where I'm at now. When I used to go up and down a lot because I'm with the dogs all the time, so I don't tend to go up and down the stairs a lot. I used to be out of breath. It's not good. I don't like to feel like that. I don't want to feel like that. I want to be full of energy. You know, keeping fit or just running and long walks. Do you know, people don't realise how good it is for you, you know. It's better for your life, better for your heart, good for your muscles, fresh air. Just your old well-being's better. You know, I remember when I used to be obviously in Beeston, when I used to do a lot of my running and walking with the dog, the Labrador, when I used to take the lab. The feeling, because I used to do because it was just 5 kilometres, I used to concentrate on all. Basically, the actual circle I did, I'd just done it right, the where I ran, I timed it that much, I knew it was more or less always finished, give or take 20 metres, 30 metres of hitting that 5k. So I always, at that time I used to carry my phone in my hand, especially because a lot of it was summertime and whatever. So I'd constantly be looking at it, and I did dead on 5k. As soon as it hit 5k, off. And I concentrate on that 5k. And I just ran it without after a bit, never walked at all. And like I said to you, I was doing it 5k in about 30 minutes. I think 31 minutes. But it was always around the same time, 31, 32, 30. But I didn't aim it to be, I didn't really push myself. I was happy, I was sweating, got back. Never really liked to shower. I used to have my ensuite at my mum's house, because she had ensuite. She had a toilet downstairs. My mum's room had a toilet, sink, shower, toilet, that was a shower room. Then my ensuite was sink, toilet and bath. I used to love just get in the bath, hot bath, put my music on and just relax. Then order a big Chinese, because my belly had gone so flat. I needed big sweet and sour king prawn balls, Cantonese style. Oh, king prawn balls. You gotta love king prawn balls when that batter is so soft with the sweet and sour sauce. Let's talk about food. And you dip it, and them prawns are so soft. Oh, and you have young chow mein. Oh. Prawn on toast. Oh, tell me, who loves crab meat and sweet corn soup? I know it's like, it's really thick, isn't it? The way they have the eggs in it, the way they do it, make it. But I know they do it. There might be a lot of places who do it with proper crab meat, isn't there? But I think a lot of them use the like crab sticks, don't they? But I don't mind. But that is nice. Crab meat and sweet corn soup. Oh, I always have that first. Now, I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's just making me hungry, and I'm really jealous that you people who are in England can get proper Chinese or Indian. I'm so jealous. So I would suspect that when I get back to England, somebody can get me a nice Chinese. Tell you what, I'm missing so much. Look, listen, I know I call this, I do go on, I ought to change my channel to, oh God, I thought of the name of it, I'll think about it in a minute. But I am the typical, I'm a proper moaning traveller, aren't I? Look at these old buildings. It all be nice, little animal house there. A few holes in the roof, needs rendering. Good rendering, bit the roof needs doing, new doors, windows, a couple of outside toilets, sort of 2 main houses, bungalow houses, probably about 40-50 square metres. Obviously, wait a minute, this one's separate, seems separate to the others, but they've got blue stickers on, so I don't think they're actually owned by the public no more. Because they've got security stickers all over them. There's no way they've got cameras there. For fuck's sake, they ain't even got cameras in Mezzachart, even on the towns. Quite a decent roof on that one. Do a lot of car shit there. But probably all owned by farmers, to be fair. Like the farmers seem to be the ones with a lot of the farmers seem to be the ones with the money in the country. Well, bound to be in it. Right, let's crack on. Another water overflow system. And then runs into there. Oh, that stinks. Oh, that's some strong cat shit. There's that dog, that Commodore. There he is. You see him? That one I told you about, what we're jumping up above the haystacks. Now he's not looking at me in a minute, he's looking over there. He'll see me and start barking. Oh, he spotted me, he's looking at me. Oh, here he goes. He's a scruffy bleeder. Poor dog, needs a good bath. Fancy him being on a chain. Look at the state of him. How the hell they can leave a dog right with fur matted like that is just no respect for animals. It makes no. I'm not going to start going on moaning again. It's just terrible. It makes me physically sick. Really pisses me off. The owners, they're just the typical people. You just want to be cruel. You just want their heads smacking on the concrete. Horrible people. Horrible. To do that, to let a dog suffer like that, right, with matted fur is beyond me. Look how dirty it is. They totally don't give a shit. Really don't. Totally. Oh, fucking arseholes, a lot of them. Problem with me here, I fall out of anybody dead easy. Problem, no mouth. You've got plenty of it, and I'm not one of these who can argue. Once I'm face on with somebody, I can't be doing that. Just need to get the job done. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. What's the point in arguing? We all can blow hot wind. Two dogs playing with each other. We're coming up to these houses in a minute. They're absolutely horrendous condition, and there's people living in them. But you've got to physically see the houses. I don't think the camera's going to pick it up, but they're a right mess. The two dogs have spotted me. The two little dogs. They've stopped playing and now they're just staring at me. So they might decide to bite my ankles. I don't know. Alright, so just look at the state of these houses here. Terrible. There's a little ginger, where I'm pointing there, ginger cat there. So he only looks small. Clearly he's looking, or he's warm, but these dogs clearly haven't seen it. So I'm not going to make a big point of it because I don't want them to attack it. They've spotted me. They're in hunting position. So this could be a life and death situation here. They're looking at me. One looks like Chewbacca.
Average pace 10 per kilometre.
Yeah. 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 I'm your banner.
Seconds per kilometre.
Hodge badge. See ya. They're looking at me a bit funny, as if to say, why is this guy trying talking to us? We're animals. You know when you think your life's shit in England and you think you're living in bad conditions? Just check this out when you know there's little kids living in these houses with no doors and windows and it's winter. Chipboard fence over there. Now, that's what you call living rough, innit? I don't know, do you know what? I don't know who's to blame. Whether it's the government, I just don't know, because you know what? What annoys me is, I'm not one of these people, I'm not a believer in, same with some of these African countries, I'll never understand it. Right, if you've got no money, you're proper on rock bottom, What's the last thing you do? You don't have children. You do not have children. If you can't afford to live yourself, why bring a child into that world? Right? Now, despite what loads of people agree with me on this, but despite what the people say who's got the children will turn around and say, oh no, it's bullshit. Well, we do know, and I know it happens here a lot. What a lot of the gypsies do, they tend to think they're going to do what they do, and it does work in their favour. They just keep having loads of children, and what they do is, you have loads of children, a bit like the ones who do it in England. They have loads of children, and then the government then has to pay for all the children, and then the councils and whatever end up even putting them into a better house or bigger house for them to live, or renovate the house they're in. Now, I don't know the circumstances with these here, because I mean that house is in the right mess, but I bet you they've got children. So I don't know who's at fault with that. I don't really know the circumstances. But what they do here, when you've got children in Mesotrot in the town, every so many months, lorries come, 2 or 3 Arctics with pallets, loads of pallets on, 26 pallets, and they've got boxes on. These boxes are about 20 kilogram each, and they're full of rice, jam, pasta, flour, biscuits. You get orange juice, syrup, lemon juice, salt, pepper. You get basically all your basic cooking ingredients, what you need to live. You get cereals, you get oatmeal, you get everything like that. But you get about, depending on the family and how many children you get, it's one box per child. So obviously 4 children, you get 4 boxes. And obviously, if you can have 2 boxes what don't have the same things in. Oh, God, my nose. But that's what you get. Now, some of them haven't really got it as bad as they make out they've got it. What annoys me is it's the same old circumstances. They've always got cigarettes. Always drinking alcohol, right? I know my dad, right? He loved his alcohol and loved his cigarettes, right? If he didn't have no money, I know my dad would not put his cigarettes and his alcohol before his children. I know that. He wouldn't do it. That is about responsibility. But I don't like it when people have got nothing, then they decide they want to have children. Fucking don't have children. You're making the world a worse place than what it already is. When you've got yourself on your feet, you've got a job, you're working, right? You're earning money. The children have got somewhere properly to live, then have children. Before then, if you can't do all that, right, you cannot afford to live yourself. Don't even think of having children. It's selfish. Because we know what you're up to, right? Why should we, or anybody, not me now, why should anybody who's working the bollocks off have to pay to look after you through their taxes? Now this house, I remember this one. Now this one's really derelict. It's got no windows or nothing. Now I actually think that is probably one of the fine examples, what I'm about to say to you, where the house is so bad that the people have had to move out. It's probably that same family. I'm not even thinking somebody's moved out of that house actually. There's too many things there. I actually think somebody's living in the house. No, look at the state of that. I'm not bullshitting you. Somebody lives in that house. And I'll tell you why I know. There's too much bits of wood outside and too many bits and bobs of things because they would have been stolen. I don't, see, honestly, I'm not even going to comment on that because I don't really know who's at fault. from what I know, they get things right and they get money. So if that conditions of that is like that, then there's got to be other circumstances. I imagine that the parents are probably on drugs, Carbita, which is painkillers. They take painkillers and like Prozac and really high strength depression tablets, and drink it with alcohol till they're out their head. They don't really care what's happening around them. It is illegal, but they do it. And that could be one circumstance why the house could be so decrepit. A lot of them, I don't like house, got a big dog there and he's looking at me. There's a lot of them end up having the children took away from them. That might be the reason why some of them. Jedi. Jedi. Oh, scared of me. You see, sad really. They don't trust people out here. Too many murderers, aren't there? They don't trust people. Poor dog. Yeah, a lot of them get the children took away from them, and once the children's been took away from them, unless they do street cleaning or whatever, they'll not get no money. They'll get electricity cut completely off, gas, water, everything, and they'll have to just live how they've got to try and live, which is tough shit really, because a lot of them have got an opportunity to do something. Clearly some of them aren't bothered. To be honest, some of them aren't even bothered the children get took away from them, so what sort of parents are they? I'm not making this up, you know. I'm not making none of this up. None of it. It's not bullshit. It is a fact. Do you want to tell you another law here? You know, in England, you know, if you've got a bad parent, you know, like in England where the husband and wife split up, a problem in England where, I don't know whether it's better now, so I've never been in that situation. You know, the ones who have problems where the dad can't see the child or the mother can't see the child. I'm going to give you a scenario how bad it is here, which is wrong. So, let's just say, for instance, I'm a real shit dad. I hit the kids, the children, my children don't want to visit me because I'm abusive, I'm a drunk, I'm completely hitting my children, I'm abusing my children, I'm hitting them and everything like that. Do you know the authorities and the law here is that if the dad and mum is like what I've just said, and they want to see their children, you know, the other parent and the child don't want to see this parent now because he's petrified of the mum or the dad. He completely does not want to spend any time with the dad or mum because he hates them, because he's frightened to death of them. Do you know, child still has to see that parent. They go on the dad or the mother's side. Would you believe that? You couldn't make that up, could you? And the other parent who knows that the other parent is bad can't do nothing about it. In fact, this has happened with my girlfriend. Not been the same abusive, anything like that. Just the dad don't give him nothing. He's never gave him nothing. They get chocolate for Christmas and orange juice, yet he's got a good job driving in Germany. So he's on decent European wages. He's in Germany, so he's on money like you have in England. Probably better money than what a driver would, not a lorry driver, a normal driver would get in England, because Germany's well paid. So he doesn't give his children hardly anything. Never has done. I've been footed with the bill, right? Because it's the kind of person I am. So I've got my own family member, but his boys, even one of them, don't even go out with the dad no more. He won't go, so one goes. So his dad does come back probably 5 times a year, say, from Germany. He's got German cars now. He's always swapping his car. So he buys his car, probably sells it in Hungary. Gets more money for it. So one of them don't go. But you know the only reason why they go? Because they have to go. They don't want to go. Because the dad has already took the mum. I remember when she went to court. When she was in the same, you know, like it's another thing. They lived in a house together and she paid for everything in the house. This is why here in Hungary, you're going to laugh at this, they remove things like kitchens, you know, they move. They actually take the kitchens out. A lot of them take the kitchens out, take all the cupboards out, everything. So like in England, we buy a house. Normally it's got a fitted kitchen. That kitchen will stay with that house when you buy it. There's not really anybody who does things like removes that kitchen. It's too much hassle, isn't it? Because we get the money back for the house. You don't really get money for renovations, really. Unless you do spend loads of money, you will never ever get that money back. I'm going to renovate that other house. I'm telling you now, completely out of pocket. Don't matter how nice the house will be, but I'm never going to get the money back. And that's why I've got to put a line on it where I've got to sort of say, that's it, can't be spending any more big money on that house anymore. Get it all, titivate it up, get it nice, get the floors done, get the bathroom done, get the kitchen done. Stop. I've got to. Because in years to come, my family ain't going to want the house. In years to come, I've got to sell that house on. I'm not going to get the money back. This house, spent loads of money on it. I ain't getting the money back. The house may as well have stayed how it was. Because you're probably only going to get 10 grand more. But all that work what's been done on that, I've spent thousands and thousands since 2016. That's how shit Hungary is. But what I'm trying to say to you is, she had to go to court. She didn't get nothing off the other house. She lived with him. She ended up selling her kitchen. She put the kitchen in. She paid everything. While he was swandering with his girlfriend, because he knocked loads of women off, she was basically paying the mortgage for the house, doing everything. Now I said to her, I don't get it, you know, I'm never ever going to understand anybody. I'm sorry, I know you all do it. You do it for money circumstances. You're scared of losing money. That's why even in England, you don't split up. You know, you don't love your partner. You stay together for money. I can't do that, and I didn't do that, and I won't do that. I cannot live a bullshit life. I won't do it, right? I know many a person who does it. They'll never admit it, but clearly they're doing it because they're seeing other people. Clearly they're doing it. Or if they're not seeing people now, they've done it. I don't know how many times. So the point is, right, this is one thing nobody can say about me, right? I won't do nothing. I won't do any or live like that. I won't live like that. I've told you, I won't. Look, listen. It's not healthy for your children. If you're arguing and you've got small children, you're fucking... Do you know why I am the way I am? I'll tell you. Now, if you had a life what I had, right? My childhood life was shit. Fucking shit. Surrounded by an abusive family, right? Completely dysfunctional. Not living like a norm. All my people who I knew who went to school, right? As far as I'm concerned, they seemed happy. I was fucking lonely. I was depressed. Inside, I felt like my body had been ripped from inside out. Nobody knows what it's like to live, and I would never put my children through that. I wouldn't want them. Mental torture, abusive torture, shouting is worse than physical. What it does to your brain. So no, I won't live a bullshit life. I'm gone. Get the money, whatever money you've got out the house, whatever, I'm gone. I won't live like that. Sorry. Not living. And, you know, same again, people sleeping with other partners and people sleeping. It's never, listen. You want to live that weird lifestyle, right? Live it. Right? It's not normal. It's never forgotten. You can say whatever you want. It's never forgotten. Weird. In fact, I'll be totally honest with you, it's weird. It's very weird. It's not normal. Even if you've done it once, it's not normal. It's not normal. Because it's going to come round and happen again. And then it'll come round and happen again. And then again. And it's just, that's my opinion anyway. It's weird. Anyway, not talking anymore about that. But my girlfriend didn't get nothing off her face. She didn't get nothing off the arse. In fact, she did. 2.5 grand, which is nothing, is it? And you know what he did? He made sure the 2.5 grand got split into a bank account for the 2 children. So I was really mad. Listen, tell you why I was mad. I'd paid for everything for them children, right? Give me a break. Give the money to my girlfriend and help me out. I'm the one looking after your boys. Give me some money. Now you know people in England, right? You'll get fellas who are with either the mum with a new bloke or the dad with a new woman. Right, let's just say they've got children, right? You'll get that new boyfriend or husband, he'll go and phone his new wife or new girlfriend's children's father up and says, you know your children want some new trainers or new clothes. Now if I did that here, I'd be in police station. I'd be in police station, I'd be arrested. I've paid for everything for these boys, right? They're not children anymore, are they? 14 years old, right? They've had everything. The computers, Xboxes, the clothes, they've had everything. But you know what? They never want for nothing because they've never had anything. They don't want, you know what? They don't want nothing at Christmas. They're not children who turn around and say, I want, they don't, do you know what, do you want to tell you what, I'll tell you how bad they are? If they go to the shop with their mum, they've got no reason to be like this. It's just how their brain thinks. You know, certain bars of chocolate or whatever, you'll say to the mum, no, God, no, don't buy that. Oh, it's too expensive. And you know what? Then they won't want nothing. Now, they don't have to live like this. They can live. They know they don't have to live like this, right? But the point is, I'm saying that is their mentality of these, how they've now ended up. Don't want anything. They're not interested in birthdays, not interested in anything. In fact, they're that bad now. Absolutely. Everything I've said, they now have admitted that I'm right. They absolutely detest hunger. They just want to leave. They don't even like the grandma anymore because she's stomach. Because she made them children know, and boys know that I've done everything, and they don't like her. They've heard her calling me for no reason, calling me blind. They hate her now. They've just said she's got no legs. Why don't she just go into an old people's home? Full stop. Instead of blasting music out of her phone all day long and moaning, all she does with the television on in that big ass. How the hell can she maintain that ass? What I put all my money in, all my heart and soul into that ass. Just needs selling. It needs selling, and I want my money. And that is straight up. I want my money. And I'm not going to get it for a long time, so I'll be well in the other ass. But the problem is with it, right? What's I'm pissed off about is who she's going to have in the ass, because as soon as we move away from that ass, the gypsies, they're going to be climbing over them walls, right? There'll be no dogs there. They should be getting robbed left, right, centre. So Sunsy's looking after her mum now, but Sunsy says she's going to have to go to the courts. She's going to have to go to courts and say, well, if she can't afford this and that and the other, everything, water, gas is going to have to be turned off. Because I'll tell you something now, it's easy for her to say, because she can die anytime now. Anytime she can die now. Right? The point is, what if she doesn't pay all the bills, pays them? I don't want leaving with them. I don't say, well, no, here you are, she's died, you've got to pay all her bills now. No. No, you can turn the gas, electricity on and water off as far as I'm concerned. Because she won't sell it, she's told me. She says, not my ass. Not my ass. Not my responsibility anymore. So that's what you get. That's what happens when you spend money on somebody else's ass. And you think, I've already said to my girlfriend, I said, you should have said to me from the beginning that your mum has to have a say in you, whatever you do with that ass. Because clearly, it's no. I've told my girlfriend. I said it's no different from anybody else's parents. That no, the children don't get nothing till they've died. The parents have died. And I says, you can't do anything because your mum has a full right. She has to sign a paperwork to say that you can sell the house or whatever she wants to do. So I said, it's not. So I said, you can have your name on the paperwork all day long, but that house is not yours until your mum's dead. And I said, it's no different because she's the only daughter, you see. So when the dad died, she got it all signed over to her, automatic. But the mum has to have a say. Mum has to sign paperwork, which I'm pissed off about now because I says, if you would have told me all this at the beginning in 2016, I would have spent a penny on the house. I said, because now the house needs to go. Because I'm not going any more into my money to spend on my new house when, you know, I'm not going to skint myself now when there's a house there what is actually got all my money in as well. What needs to really, why should I? So this is why this is going to be another problem. I can't do any more with the other house anyway. It's been done. I can't do any more. But I'm not going to start doing. I'm not going to throw the money into it like I did when I first got it. I've just said to you, I've just spent £40,000 has gone on that house. This is not buying the house. 40,000 has gone just doing what I've done. It's nothing, absolutely nothing. So the fence, you know, like I said to you, the fencing was £17,000. the flooring in the house, was 12 grand. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? That's what's like it's been burnt, hasn't it? Somebody's not cleaned this shit up. Yeah, 40 grand's just gone. Not buying and that's not including anything else I've done. That's just the fencing. 40 grand has gone on fencing and the concrete floor. Imagine what car I could have bought, 40 grand. Imagine. Right, let's turn this off. Exactly what I said to you. There we go. So, stop.
Activity stopped.
Oh, wait a minute. Save activity.
Activity completed. Workout summary. Total time 2 hours 23 minutes 55 seconds. Total distance 14.01 kilometers. Average pace 10 minutes 16 seconds. Per
Well,
kilometer.
I'll tell you something now. If this ain't going to burn me fat off, I don't know what is. So, I'm happy with that. Anyway. Come on, get in the car. It's getting dark, isn't it? Oh. I'm gonna laugh. I've stopped. I tell you now, my leg's gonna kill me later. I've stopped. I'm in agony now. Oh, just pop me there a minute. I'll pop it on there. Oh, I've got no tissue in here. No tissue. Oh, I can't believe there's no tissue. Gotta be some tissue, please. No tissue. That's all. You've got to be kidding me. How can she have no tissue in the car? Oh, Jesus Christ. That pissed me off. I had a shave the other day. That night when I told you. Or was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday morning. Yesterday morning I had a shave. Right, better get going back, haven't we? What was I talking? Yeah, so I just don't know. I'm not. I've got to get, like I said to you, I'm not getting a motorbike now because I'm put off with what that accident I see has put me off. So I need to get another car high performance car, and I'm not going to tell you what I'm getting, but it's going to be another high performance car. I'll slab him. Do you know what? I can't get rid of that Merc, you know. Do you know what? No matter what car I buy next, right, I may still not be as nice. Even if I get another... I'll tell you what it's going to be, I would let you know. I've got the choice now. It's either going to be a Porsche, which I'm not really overtly bothered, but I have seen the type, or it's going to be AMG. It's really, I think I'd say it's going to be accidental. Oh, I can't believe it. Coughing. Anyway, listen. Car's making a funny noise. I don't like the sound of that. Making a very funny noise. So, about cyclists, listen. Can't believe it. Stop running. I've stopped running and walking. I'm coughing. Anyway, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, comment, bell icon. Thanks for coming today. Enjoy your Friday evening. Don't forget, king prawn curry, large egg fried rice, big portion of chips, and make sure you put the chips at the bottom, the rice on top of the chips, and the curry on top. Sit down, feet up, watch TV, have your beer, have a nice drink. See you later, everybody. Love all of you. Bye.